A few months ago, my twin brother killed himself. He left us a note telling us that the loss of his wife, Sharon, had been too much for him and that he wished to join her again. It was weird because Danny wasn't the religious type. At least, that's what everyone else thought. But I am his twin brother, and we told each other everything. Seriously, I knew everything about his life. I honestly don't think my brother knew the meaning of the word boundaries. So of course I knew about the group Danny and his wife were involved in. In fact, I'm fairly certain I was the only one. Because whenever Danny's wife heard him talk to me about the group, she would act pretty damn violently. Example, I was over at his house to watch the game, and he casually mentioned that the group was coming over to his house tomorrow for some kind of party. His wife heard him, and then suddenly an empty beer bottle was smashing against the wall behind us. She literally threw a glass bottle at her husband because he dared mentioned he was holding a get-together for this group. Needless to say, Danny and I never talked about this group again. That is, until the night of his suicide. I was on the bus home from work when he started calling. I didn't pick up because I didn't want to be that guy who was talking on a quiet bus. So, I ignored the call and texted him to tell him I was on the bus and asked him what was wrong. He didn't reply and instead called again. Annoyed, I declined his call and texted him again to remind him that I was on the bus. Again, he ignored my text and called again. This time, I picked up, but all I could hear was static. So I hung up and told him I was getting a bad cell service. A couple of minutes passed, and I got a text telling me that I've got a new voicemail from Danny. So I listened to it, because clearly something must be up. It was mostly static, but there was a few words I could pick out. They're coming for me. They took Sharon. Don't believe the note. I did what any sane person would do after this and called 911. When they got to his place, they found him face first in the bathtub filled with water. Next to the bathtub was a scrunched up suicide note. I told the police about my concerns about this being a murder, but they found no evidence of foul play. So I kept quiet about the voicemail. No need to worry the rest of the family. Besides, I didn't need them thinking I couldn't accept his suicide. After his death, they were all over me night and day to make sure I didn't kill myself in grief. In fact, it's only been in the last few days that I've started to get my privacy back. I was relieved at first. Finally, I could do whatever I wanted in my own apartment. I could walk around naked again. I could eat takeaway every day without someone fretting over my diet. But my relief only lasted a day. During my second day of freedom, I received a letter. A common occurrence, sure, but this letter was written in my brother's handwriting. Not only that, he called me by my childhood code name. We like to pretend we were spies, okay? That only we knew. To say I was starting to freak out was an understatement. The letter read as follows: Bacon, whatever you do, don't open the brown parcel. Orange. Bacon and orange. Those were our code names. Only we knew those code names. His handwriting and our code names. There was not a chance that this was even possible. It couldn't be happening. Except it was happening. I didn't have time to have a complete meltdown before there was a knock on my door and someone delivered me a brown parcel. Honestly, I wish I could say I burned that parcel and note or something. Destroyed them both when I first got them. But I didn't. Instead, I flung them into the closet and went to work. I couldn't be writing this if that's all that happened. So far, it's been strange and anxiety-inducing, but stranger stuff has happened. So far, that is. When I got home from work that day, the parcel was on my bed. I live alone, and I'm the only one with a set of keys. I also must have ripped it when I threw it in my closet, because some of the brown paper was missing. This time, I like to think I was acting pretty rational. I put it in a plastic bag, put that plastic bag in a garbage bag, and dumped it outside. That was 2 days ago. I just woke up and found a half-opened brown parcel at the foot of my bed. I have no idea what to do, but I can kind of see what it is. It's one of those memory boxes kids make, and it seems to have pictures of me and my brother all over it. It seems harmless enough. Why would my brother tell me not to open a memory box that he clearly made as a kid? He's probably just embarrassed by what's in it. No harm can come from opening it. Right? Right?